God made it all. And everything belongs to God. God made you, God made me, God made it all. If you go back in time, back in history, back through the ages, back to the beginning, it was God. It all started with God. The beginning and the end. That's the message in here, the message of that song, that God made it all. Our world, everything in it. The rocks, the sky, the people, the birds, the money, all of it. God made it all. You know, and all of it was here before you. And all of it's going to be here after you're gone. That's just the fact. Your house, your car, your clothes, all the stuff that went into making those things, all of it was here before you got here. All of it's going to be here when you're gone. In fact, we're just borrowing. We're just borrowing it for a little bit of time, which may sound kind of depressing. You know, you kind of think, well, you know, I work all this time and I put out all this energy and effort, and I'm just borrowing it. I mean, that kind of stinks. But actually, think about it. It's kind of liberating. I mean, it's kind of free. Because if it's not yours, you know, it's kind of like I described going back to living with my parents' house. It's not yours. You don't have to worry about it. It's not your problem. It's not your deal to stress about. You know, why worry about how nice your house is or how fancy your car is? It doesn't matter. It's not yours. You know, my house isn't mine. My car isn't mine. None of it is mine. So why worry about it? You know, and when I lived with my parents, it was more an issue of just kind of pitching in. You know, well, okay, I was supposed to pitch in. I mean, I don't necessarily do it all the time. But, you know, that's why I cleaned. That's why I picked up. That's why I took care of it, in theory, was because I appreciated what they had given me. It wasn't mine. I wasn't stressed about it. I wasn't nervous about it. It didn't tie me up in knots. You know, it was cooking, cleaning, doing laundry. I was living under someone else's roof, and my taking care of it was a way of appreciating the fact that they provided it. Well, you know what? We all kind of live under someone else's roof anyway. We all live under God's roof. Everything in our house, the money we use to pay for it, the skills that we have, the knowledge, the gifts, the talents we use to buy it, all of it is a gift from God. Because God didn't have to make any of it. In the paper last week, there was a story that they found 32 new planets, which brings the total up to like 400. There's 400 planets out there. And that's just the ones they found. And this one scientist they were interviewing, and he said, well, you know, it turns out that actually planets are kind of common. They're kind of all over the place. I had no idea. I mean, I thought maybe we were the only one. But, you know, God didn't have to do that. God didn't have to make all these planets, and God didn't have to make this planet, and God didn't have to put green plants on it, and animals, and air, and water, and you and me. God didn't have to do any of it. God could have just sat out there with God's old self doing God's thing, whatever. Hanging out, being holy and whatnot. I don't know. But the point is, God did it. You know? God did it. God chose to make it. All of it. But it's temporary. None of this stuff is going to last. God made it, and it's temporary. God made us, and we're temporary. In the end, none of this stuff is going to last. What's going to last is the only thing that has lasted forever. God. God is the only one who's going to last forever. God is the only thing that we're ever going to have. And so, when we think about where we live, when we think about the things that we use to take care of us, they all come from God. They're all God's. God's going to last forever. Really, the bottom line here is that even though you don't know it, you still live with your parents. I mean, that's just kind of what it boils down to. You do. I mean, you may think you got your own house, you think you got your own car, you think you got all your own great stuff, but you still live at home with your parents. You are going to move out of this world someday, and when you go, you ain't taking any of this with you. You know? I didn't take my bed with me when I moved out. I didn't take my furniture. I took a toothbrush and some soap, I think, and a change of clothes. Go to college, go. You're on your own. You know, you still live at home with your parents. So it's time to start acting like it. Really, it's time to start acting like it. When you see that pile of dishes, you go home and, you know, it's a pile of dishes. You know what? got dishes. I mean, that's a pretty cool thing. You've been given these dishes. They're not a burden. They're not a curse. They're not something to look at and think, God, I can't believe I have to deal with this. There's something that you have been given to enjoy. That dirty carpet that's been staring at you for a week and you've been avoiding it because you don't want to deal with it. You know what? You've got carpet. God has given you a lovely rug that you can lie down on and you can roll on and you can do all kinds of fun stuff. Enjoy it. It's a gift. It's a blessing. Thank God for it. Use it that way. And your money too. Did you ever feel when you were a kid like you personally didn't have enough money to take care of yourself? Now, maybe you thought your parents didn't. But you personally? No, we never think about that as a kid. All we were kind of worried about as kids is if we had enough money for the gumball machine at the store, so we could get a piece of candy or whatever. Well, guess what? You have enough money for the gumball machine. You have a car? It's a gumball machine toy. You got clothes, a TV. These are all gumball machine toys. And God has just given you a big old roll of quarters so that you can go to the gumball machine and get all this fun stuff. Enjoy it. Stop worrying about whether you have enough of it. Stop worrying about whether it's going to last. And just enjoy it. Let it be a gift. I remember my Christmas list one year. I think it was in 6th grade. And basically this is what I did. I took a piece of paper out. And I wrote down on it every G.I. Joe toy that there was. Right? And then I went through and I crossed off the ones I already had. And that was what I gave to my parents. So here's my Christmas list. And there was a lot of stuff that I crossed off, but it wasn't enough. I mean, it was never enough. Remember that as a kid? It was never enough. And now, if you're like me and you're a parent, and you look at the colossal piles of toys that your kids have, and in my house, it's like every 6 months or a year, we just got to go through it. We just got to get rid of stuff. I mean, it's just nuts. I barely even buy them anything. And these toys, they breed. They're like rabbits. And, you come home and they're everywhere. Where did this come from? And it's not enough. It's never enough. It's never enough for us. It's not enough for our kids. It's not enough. And it's the same thing for us. How much do we need? Got a house, got furniture, a car, a TV. We got all this stuff. When is it going to be enough? It's going to be enough when we decide to live like we live with our parents. And we let God really be in charge of it.